Imagine the heavy, pressurized silence of a private jet cabin at 35,000 feet, where the only thing louder than the hum of the engines is the deafening realization that everything you built is turning to ash. This isn't the triumphant return Harry and Meghan once imagined when they vowed to conquer the world from the sun-drenched hills of California. This is a midnight flight fueled by pure, unadulterated panic. Before we dive into the wreckage of this royal collapse and the $16 million ultimatum that triggered it, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join our community and start your new year off right with the most insightful deep dives into the stories that actually matter. The headlines detonated like a thermal charge across both sides of the Atlantic, catching even the most seasoned royal watchers off guard. The couple who dramatically turned their backs on the British monarchy in 2020, promising a new era of financial independence and global influence, have suddenly and mysteriously retreated to British soil in what insiders are calling a full-blown emergency evacuation. We aren't looking at a simple holiday visit or a tactical PR pivot. Multiple sources have confirmed that the Sussexes didn't just pack a few suitcases. They fled their Montecito fortress with their children in a state of high-alert desperation. The timing is more than just suspicious, it is damning. This frantic departure occurred a mere 72 hours after Hollywood mogul Tyler Perry dropped a nuclear bomb on his radio show, publicly demanding that the couple repay a staggering $16 million within 30 days or face a courtroom battle that would strip away every layer of their carefully constructed financial privacy. The woman who once navigated red carpets as a duchess, framing her every move as an act of empowerment and autonomy, is now reportedly sequestered somewhere in the United Kingdom, trying to dodge the legal reach of one of the most powerful men in entertainment. It is the ultimate irony. The man who wrote an entire memoir titled Spare, dedicated to his escape from the prison of royal life, has literally sprinted back to that very institution because, apparently, the constraints of the monarchy are far safer than the accountants of a disgruntled billionaire. To understand the sheer scale of this desperation, you have to look at the wreckage they left behind. They are crawling back to the family they publicly humiliated on a global stage, back to the institution they attempted to burn to the ground in a series of scorched earth interviews, and back to the country they claimed was suffocating them. This is no longer a simple celebrity scandal. It is a total financial implosion occurring in real time, and the sudden flight to the UK reveals a terrifying truth about just how deep their debt really goes. The story of this collapse begins on a crisp December morning in 2025, when Tyler Perry's voice cut through the airwaves with the kind of absolute authority that makes a person stop mid-scroll. He didn't mince words, stating clearly that Harry and Meghan owed him a massive sum related to the financing of their California lifestyle and their Montecito mansion. He gave them a 30-day window to settle the debt or face a public trial. This wasn't a case of a billionaire being petty. This was a self-made man who built an empire on discipline and deals, publicly calling out two people who had allegedly been ghosting his legal team for months. Sources close to Perry suggest he had tried to handle the matter with the utmost discretion, extending deadline after deadline out of respect for his personal bond with the couple, particularly his role as godfather to their daughter, Lilibet. But when the grace period expired and was met with nothing but excuses and silence, Perry chose the nuclear option. He knew that by making this public, he was stripping away their ability to hide behind PR spin. The origin of this debt is a tangled web that leads back to the chaotic days of 2020. When they first landed in California, they were in a state of freefall, no security, no permanent home, and no clear path forward. Perry stepped in as a guardian angel, offering them his Beverly Hills estate as a sanctuary. However, that temporary kindness morphed into a complex financial arrangement when they decided to purchase their $14.65 million estate in Montecito. That house was meant to be a monument to their victory, a 9-bedroom, 16-bathroom statement of independence from the crown. Public records show a mortgage of roughly $9.5 million, but that left a massive gap of over $5 million in down payments and fees that remained a mystery until now. Insiders claim Perry didn't just provide a roof. He provided the liquid capital to make the purchase possible when traditional banks were hesitant to lend to a couple with no proven American income stream. These weren't formal, button-down bank contracts. They were Hollywood handshake deals, the kind of agreements made over high-end dinners between people who believe they are part of the same elite circle. Perry seemingly believed in the Sussex brand, assuming the $100 million Netflix deal and the $20 million Spotify contract would make a few $1 million look like pocket change. But the brutal reality of the Montecito mansion is that it is a financial black hole. Between the $200,000 annual property tax bill, the multi-million-dollar security detail required to protect a high-profile prince, and the astronomical costs of maintaining a property of that scale, the burn rate of their lifestyle began to outpace their actual earnings. As the house appreciated in value, it became a prime target for creditors. Perry, it turns out, was just the tip of the iceberg. Leaked documents and whispers from Silicon Valley suggest that the couple's lifestyle was propped up by a patchwork of IOUs from various tech moguls and entertainment producers who all bought into the Sussex hype at its peak. These individuals weren't looking for interest. They were looking for access for production stakes or for partnerships with the Archwell Foundation that never actually bore fruit. Now that the brand has become increasingly toxic, those investors want their networking capital back. The math simply doesn't work anymore. Even with Harry's inheritance from Princess Diana, once you subtract the mortgage, the alleged $16 million owed to Perry, the private debts to other lenders, and the ongoing operational costs of their lives, the couple is staring into a financial abyss. Their media projects have largely stalled or underperformed. Netflix shows have failed to crack top rankings, Spotify famously cut ties while labeling them grifters, and the one-time windfall from Harry's book has already been absorbed by their overhead. Meanwhile, the Archwell Foundation is under intense IRS scrutiny. Filings show the foundation has been losing money, with expenses far outstripping donations. There are growing questions about whether the Montecito mansion was improperly used as a business headquarters for tax deductions, a move that has put the federal government on their trail. When you are being squeezed by a billionaire mogul and the IRS simultaneously, your options disappear quickly. This brings us to the why of their flight to the UK. It is a move born of cold, calculated legal necessity. By physically moving to British soil, they have created a jurisdictional nightmare for Tyler Perry's legal team. Enforcing a California court judgment in the United Kingdom is a Herculean task. Perry would have to restart legal proceedings in the British system, a process that could take years of litigation and millions in fees. In the UK, Harry also has access to trust funds and assets that are governed by British law, assets that are shielded from American creditors. It is a tactical retreat to a legal fortress, but it comes at a staggering social cost. The reception waiting for them in Britain is colder than a January morning in the Highlands. King Charles and Prince William have reportedly made it clear that the era of royal bailouts is over. The king is focused on the stability of the monarchy and his own health, and he views Harry's financial woes as a private matter for a private citizen. Prince William's stance is even more rigid. Insiders say he views this crisis as a self-inflicted wound and has zero intention of allowing the Duchy of Cornwall's funds to be used to settle his brother's American debts. The trust between the brothers hasn't just been broken, it has been incinerated by years of public attacks. There is also the political reality. Using royal resources to pay off a Hollywood celebrity would be public relations suicide in a country facing its own economic challenges. So, Harry and Meghan find themselves in a peculiar kind of limbo. They are safe from immediate American process servers, but they are trapped in a country where they have no natural allies left and no clear source of income. They are responsible for the taxes and upkeep of a California home they can no longer live in, while their marriage is reportedly bucking under the immense pressure of their shared failure. Meghan is said to be livid that the California dream has evaporated, while Harry is overwhelmed by the realization that every bridge he burned was a bridge he now desperately needs to cross. Tyler Perry's lawyers are not sitting idle. They are already exploring international debt collection avenues and the nuclear option of legal discovery.